This is the Spurlock grand hammer hanging jig being manufactured now by Pianotek Supply. And just a little setup here in using the jig. You can still hang your section ends as these are and draw your pencil lines like you'd normally do, and even using a straight edge like our aluminum straight edge here to align the strike marks. So that part, and you could even check with the shoulders when you're actually hanging these section ends in a normal way. So these have been dried. The little rubber bands are attached just to hold down the end samples. It's a nice idea Bill had. At that point, you're going to set up the jig, and you can see there's a tray, a mid tray, that's adjusted in slots. It can go up and down in the slot on the sides, and you set that up so that your tails are resting, and you do this with the samples. Your tails are resting so that if you lay a level on there, the shanks are in a level position to start, and you would check both sides because it could be tipped a bit. Once you've set that, then it lets you, with this lip on the aluminum, you'll capture the inside bottom edge of the tails. And at that point, you can do a little arranging of the whole jig in and out with the tail in and out, so that you also have room to adjust this top straight edge, which is no different than using a conventional straight edge if you do it that way. But this just permanently holds the straight edge there. Tighten the knurled nuts lightly, snug that up. Typically you would be doing it with these. These are some that were hung already. You'd set it up like this. You can also check with the straight edge on the back side of the hammer also. And the straight edge is nice because it has a little deeper bevel now. It's better than using a ruler. Once that's set up, obviously these were done first, they're dry, and at that point you set it up so that the shanks are in a level position. They're capturing, you pull it back a little bit. If you need to, the bottom of the platform of the jig has some adjusting screws, so you can level it. I don't do it here, but another good idea is to lay something heavy on here. You may want to lay a set of tuning pins or something just to keep it weighted down. So once that's done, you can see 3 are here. You also are going to be obviously putting these on before cutting your shanks, and you want to make sure you have clearance for the shank in the uncut position to clear the straight edge, which we do. Now you can set the adjustment. Now this is a little technique we use in a pre-hanging at Pianotek, and we tried a lot of different glues, and we ended up with the Titebond molding glue, which is very thick, and we used one of our glue injectors, which was a idea where we just take the glue injector, cut it off so that you have it's like a push-up popsicle, and you can push your glue inside of this and then be able to just turn it onto the shank and very easily coat the shank. You can also put the glue in the hammer with a tapered shank if you want. So I'm just going to demonstrate it, putting it on the shank only and not the hammer. So I'm putting a little glue inside to demonstrate. And this was will pop up, so you can set it. This one's been used, so it's a little bit tight, usually a little easier. You can then, when you're done, just wash it out with soap and water and reuse it. Quick demonstration here. We're going to roll this on. And on here. Won't run out. And set this down right in here. And again, you can get in under here also, so you can do two things. You can push the heel inside edge of the tail against the aluminum edge here, and then pushing the hammer back against the straight edge. It's tight and snug down, and at that point you have something that's in there. And also, because of the flat adjuster here, the mid one, you can actually have the tail, you can actually feel the tail flat on top of this, and it's a good start point to have a parallel hammer hanging vertically. It's a good start point rather than having nothing under the tails, and like we used to do too, having just maybe a straight edge under the shanks. This actually gives you a nice square reference, so you can be perpendicular to that. And that's it. And you basically go down the line. You can then remove the jig and put them on a straight edge if you like, and then do some traveling and tweak them up later if you want. But it makes it pretty easy to get things very close quickly.